What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And yet again on this channel I'm talking about something I don't know what I'm going to call this. I don't know why I'm even making this video, but I thought it was cool. I just wanted to quickly talk about something that Aimbot, one of the devs in the ESports Boxing Club Discord, if you want to join it, go onto their Twitter, Instagram or YouTube. I think it should be on there. I will link it in the description down below. Not the Discord, I will link their Twitter and YouTube and Instagram in the description down below if you want to go subscribe, follow and join the Discord so you guys can get a little sneak peeks like we're able to here. And there's a few devs in the chat that are quite active. You've got Aimbot is always active. Meme Man is quite active. Pound for Pound King is kind of active. Rubber Duck, I've never really seen him been active. And I think there's one more that I can't think of. I think Bossman, I think I've seen his name appear once only. But I don't know much else about them. I try not to like invade their space and at them and talk to them all the time. I just try to, you know, when Aimbot kind of goes on a bit of a run sometimes of questions, and I screenshotted two that I found really interesting. It was about the punches in the game. Obviously, he answered lots of questions like some he can't answer. Sorry, like, you know, what was it like? You know, who has been the best in the mocap, or, you know, how long does it take? And he said about how long it takes, and he said, you know, some fighters get it done in a day, some fighters get it done in 3 days. Some fighters hit on the dummy a little low, so they have to edit it so it raises the punch up a little bit to come, you know, meet the head and make, you know, make sense. Some of the stuff is very interesting, really cool information, and he doesn't tell us things like, you know, did you meet Terence Crawford, or, you know, things like that. He did answer the question of who's the best, and he said that he is actually the best player in the office at the moment, which I found super interesting. And then he was, you know, asked questions about mocap, like I said, and punches and what, you know, what's going on with things like that. So the first question that was asked, there's two here that I'm going to just show the answers to them. One of them was, does everyone have a unique punch? You know, does every single fighter have their own unique punch? And he said this. Sorry about that, guys. I punched my mic by accident. He said here to the question, does everyone have their own unique punch, unique movesets? He said, not every fighter, as that would mean the game would be in 1.0 for about 5 years. But the majority of fighters will, hopefully. And right away I thought, well, that's pretty cool that, you know, a good amount of the fighters are going to have their own unique style. There's not going to be like in UFC when you play as someone, you're like, wow, they've obviously got the same body type as this other fighter, or they've obviously got the same fight stance as this fighter. I think that's quite, for me, that was generally really interesting to show, like, wow, you know, we're going to have a really unique experience with most fighters, at least over 50%, hopefully, as he said there. And then the second one for me was really interesting. People were saying about, you know, well, everyone's going to punch the same. It is only a game and stuff. And for me, this one really spoke volumes. And I think everyone else really liked, just simply perfect. This one simple line from Aimbot. He says here, if everyone punched the same, what would be the point in the roster? And I think that is just fantastic. You know, they spoke about the movesets. And to me, that really shows they are doing it where fighters are just going to have all kinds of different movesets. Every fighter is going to be different. Maybe some fighters will have a few similarities because they weren't able to get them in mocap perfectly. But I can imagine throughout the years, we will get it where every single fighter is unique to themselves in the game. And I just wanted to share these two screenshots here. I just thought they were fucking cool, man. Just the thought of it when you really think about it, like when you really think about it, over 100 fighters they've got, and they're saying the majority of them should have different punches and different, you know, feels to them. I think that really shows how much effort they're putting in and why it's been delayed, because, you know, no game has done that before. No game has done it where every single fighter has a unique punch system, unless maybe games like Absolver, where they've only got a few styles and they're not based on real people, you know, or just funny, you know, Tekken and Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and stuff. But for a real boxing game that's based on real life people, we've not had a game where it is based on everything. You know, every fighter is true to themselves in the game. And I think, for me, that just spoke volumes. And when you really think about how many fighters there are, how many punch styles there are in the world, how each of these fighters fight differently. If we just get some of the top few, just say Terence Crawford, Amir Khan, Roy Jones, Alexander Usyk, and let's say Joe Frazier. If we compare all 5 of these together, you would not be able to have them all have the same style. You would not be able to have them share the 3 same styles. They all are so different, and in the way they fight, whether it comes to punch speed, punch power, the way they move, the way they snap off their punches. Terence Crawford is a very heavy switch stance. If you gave the very heavy switch stance momentum to Joe Frazier, it would look ridiculous. You know, he doesn't jab, come in, drop, and switch stance when he throws this straight here, then switch stance again. You know, and same with Amir Khan. Amir Khan's those snappy combos. It would be silly if we saw someone like Alexander Povetkin having the hand snappiness of Amir Khan. It would look really silly. So to me, I thought this was just fantastic. I just thought I'd just talk about it quickly. Just want to get it off my chest. And Because I just, things like this make me so excited, and the game makes me so excited. I know it makes you guys excited too. And I just thought it was cool, man. When you really think about it, if everyone punched the same, what would be the point in the roster? And I think that is just perfectly sums it up, because that is true. If everyone punched the same, you could just have a bunch of faceless people, and it would be a boxing game with everyone punching the same. So I thought that was a really clean quote. I don't think, I think he just kind of answers these questions. I saw some Pound for Pound King saying that this guy, Aimbot, is always fighting for us, and he always wants to, what's it called? He always wants to tell us things and answer questions, but obviously he can't because of the non-disclosure agreement that he always talks about. And I just think it's epic that he is the one that's in there wanting to answer questions for us. And he does answer questions. Join the Discord, guys. You will learn so much. And we were honestly amazed. There was a little hint that he said about that they don't run off any engine. They run off the ESports Boxing Club engine. And then he just didn't answer after that, which I thought was interesting. And, he just, like I said, he answers the question about the mocap and things like that. And, how excited he was when the trailer was about to drop. He's not even a huge boxing fan. He spoke about how he's never actually watched a full fight of boxing, but he loves creating great games, but yet he's not much of a boxing fan, which to me is fantastic. You don't need to be a boxing fan to create a great game, but he's got boxing fans all around him, and yet he said he's the best in the office. He said that no one has combos like him, which I think is amazing. And all in all, the Discord is fantastic, and these two things in particular, not every fighter, as that would mean the game would be in 1.0 for like 5 years, but the majority of fighters will. And then if everyone punched the same, what would be the point in the roster? I think that was just amazing. But yeah, I just want to make this quick video. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but just the whole point of the channel, we just talk shit all the time, and I like to hear your guys' opinions on this kind of stuff as well. But I'm gonna end it here. Thanks for watching as always, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.